Good morning, students. I hope everyone is safe at home. Yeah, in the previous class, we discussed about the what are the structure of kidneys and the functioning of the kidneys, and also the what is the excretory system, how the excretory system functions, how the urine is formed, how it is excreted from the body. Already we discussed. So now we will discuss about a special process that is called as a hemodialysis. So before discussing this process, we will discuss about what is hemodialysis, what type of persons will require this, and what is its uses. We will discuss. So before that, we will discuss about what is ESRD. ESRD. So what is ESRD? E, end. S, stage. End stage, renal. Renal is what belongs to kidneys. Renal disease. End stage renal disease. So this is called as ESRD. So when both the kidneys they will not function. So they fail to filter the blood. So at that time the people they get the disease called the ESRD, end stage renal disease. So here what will happen? Both the kidneys they will stop functioning. So the blood will be not purified. Water as well as the waste accumulate in the body, it leads to the swelling of hands and legs, especially our limbs. Hands and legs will start swelling, and the person will become tiredness. So because the that is not clean at all. So that's why the waste will accumulate. So the body, the cells will not get the oxygen properly for the producing energy. So that's why what will happen? The people they get the person especially will get tiredness. He cannot work properly, and at last may lead to the death of the person. So this is called as ESRD. So the accumulation of waste in the blood is called as uremia. This condition is called as the uremia. So what is uremia? The accumulation of, because when the kidneys stop functioning, at that time the waste water and the nitrogenous waste they accumulate in the body, it may increases the toxicity. It increases the toxicity and leads to the swelling of hands and legs. This condition is called as uremia. So this is a particular disease. So this is a cause for the failure of the kidneys. Then what are the other factors leading to the failure of the kidneys? Long-term infections. Long-term infections, high blood pressure, accidents, and the high sugar. High blood sugar, and sometimes what will happen? Blood will not pass to the kidneys. So these are all are the reasons which means they lead to the failure of the kidneys. What are the reasons failure of the kidneys? The factors: long-term infections, high blood pressure, accidents, and also the high blood sugar. So these are the factors, and also the stoppage of the blood flow to the kidneys. So these are all the reasons which leads to the kidney failure. So these reasons may lead to the death of the person. So when the waste accumulates in the body, the blood will be not purified. The blood is not purified means what will happen? Is all nitrogen waste along with all the waste will accumulate, and the oxygen will be not supplied to the cells. The cells may not function properly, and the person will get tiredness. He cannot do the work, and it may at last it leads to the death. So that's why to protect the person from the death, a special process is identified. That process is called as hemodialysis, purification of the blood with the help of a machine. That machine is called as the dialysis machine. You may call it as dialyzer. It is called as the dialyzer. Now we will discuss about what is the structure of the dialyzer. So it contains some tube-like structures. It contains the tube-like structures. These tube-like structures are made up of a special material the material called as cellophane. Cellophane is the material. With the help of this material, these tubes are prepared. So they work like the blood vessels in our body. They work like the blood vessels in our body. So this set of tubes, they embedded in a box. So this box contains a fluid. So this fluid is called as dialyzing fluid. Dialyzer. This fluid is called as dialyzer. So it is equal to plasma. You know that plasma contains water and all the carbohydrates, proteins, fats, minerals. So all those are present in this dialyzer except the nitrogenous waste. Except the nitrogenous waste. So the person near the elbow, here the main artery is there, no? So from the main artery, the blood will be sent to the tube, sent into the tube. So before the blood sent into the tubes, they will add a substance, organic substance called as anticoagulant heparin. Heparin is an organic substance which prevents the coagulation of the blood in the blood vessels. Already you know that. So that heparin will be added to the blood. Why? Because it is coming from our body. So when it comes out from the body, automatically it will clot. So to prevent the clotting, they add the heparin to the blood. Then the blood will send to the tube. So when the blood flows these tubes, say already plasma. The dialytic fluid contains the plasma, so only the nitrogenous phase will be filtered. Urea, uric acid, ammonia, only the nitrogenous phase will be removed from this blood. Again to the main vein. To the main vein, again the blood enters into the body. Before entering the blood into the body also, they add heparin. Again the heparin will be added to the blood. So this system, this process lasts for 3 to 6 hours. It lasts for 3 to 6 hours. So in the earlier time, means with the initial stages, for every day, 1 or 2 days, they purify the blood. So afterwards for a week, 2 to 3 times they purify the blood alternate days. It depends upon the intake of the food. So many restrictions will be there for the dialysis. They should not take the non-vegetarian. They should not take non-vegetarian. They have to take the boiled food. Why? Because if you take more protein, it will become very difficult to filter the blood. So that's why they have to take very less protein diet and they have to drink very small quantities of water. Why? Because the water is the no way to eliminate the water from the body. To remove the water from the body, that's why the very restriction will be there per day. Which UMH patient, the kidneys dialysis patient, they have to take only 1 liter of water per day, including the food. So this is the process. This is function as a artificial kidney. So now we will discuss about what is kidney transplantation. I hope everyone understood. Again, I will explain the Zoom class. So, what is kidney transplantation? So, when both the kidneys are failed, this is one way, and the way is the kidney transplantation. You know that these are the 2 kidneys. These are the 2 kidneys, and this is our excretory system. So, if you transplant these 2 are not functioning because the kidney failure patients, these 2 are not functioning. So, the other kidney, where they have to fix that kidney in this body. So here near the urinary bladder, they have to fix the another kidney. So these kidneys they will not remove, but the transplanted another kidney they will fix nearby the urinary bladder. So how can they take this kidney? Who will donate the kidney? The persons we are very close relatives to that patient, particular patient. So they can donate the kidney. So if the kidney, the blood is not matched, the groups are not matched, then automatically so the kidney cannot survive. So the kidney will not function because we have to withstand the immune system of the body. not function. That's why doctors what they will do, they will take the kidneys of their close relatives and do so many tests. Nowadays, they are collecting the kidneys from the brain dead people. We will met with the accidents at the time. What they are going and they are collecting all the organs, not only kidneys. They are collecting the liver, lungs, heart, and they are using that for the people who are needed for that. Okay. So in the next class, we will discuss about the what are the other excretory organs present in our body.